is Molly Trotter, and you are catching the very first podcast for It's Bigger Than Me. I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited to share with you what it is that I have that is just flowing out of me, because you know what? We get on social media, podcasts, YouTube, whatever, and we see people's highlight reels and what they want us to see. Well, we don't see the meat, the raw, the real, the relevancy behind the scenes. And that is what I'm going to bring to you throughout this entire podcast, is just some of the raw, real, relevant topics in the meat of it that people experience, that they feel, but they don't always talk about, because I feel like there's so much connection that is missing out there. And I really want to bring that to you. So I am so excited. So for me to kick this off, to get to know me, to get to know the mission on what we have here, I'm actually going to bring a good friend of mine into the frame. So Joshua Berglan, if you would mind joining us. There he is.
It's like that dramatic entrance.
I love it. Hey, you know what? It's live, it's fun, and let's make it happen. So, guys, I thought it would just be a better way, rather than me just sitting here talking about myself, we do like an interactive kind of like interview style. But then from here on out, of course, there's going to be special guests, topics, and series that are going to be coming into the mix. So stay tuned. But without that, Joshua, the reason why I'm bringing you on, and for the viewers mainly, you already know the reason, is because with you actually pushed me to do this. I really always wanted to do this, and this is like your forte. So I'm super excited for you to just hit me with the questions, let the people understand who I'm about, and then we just run from there.
Well, the first thing, first of all, thank you for the opportunity, because I'm so geeked out for you because of seeing what's possible for you, and I'm really excited that you're doing this. And to get to this point is fun, but you know what? This is just the beginning. So I'm really honored to be a part of this with you, and so excited to have the opportunity to interview you and really get to know you more, because even though I've only known you for a few months, we've become, or not even that long. Oh my gosh. It's been about a month, but in that time I've gotten to know you, and I just really believe that God has amazing things in store for you. And I'm so excited about this show. I love the name. It's Bigger Than Me, and this is going to be fantastic. So Molly, first things first, I always ask this on my show, but and I think it's appropriate now. But tell the audience about a time in your life that really things weren't going great, and maybe you wanted to give up, but you're able to right now look at that moment and go, God, I'm so grateful that happened.
That is actually, that's a very good question. And I've seen your show, and I should have known this was coming, but I didn't want to prepare for anything. I just wanted to be, free, fly off with it. So what comes to mind for me is, gosh, how long ago was this? Back in, oh my goodness, 2000, and we're going to go 2000 and like maybe 14 or 15. It could actually, no, we're going to go back 2013. Long time ago. Feels like forever ago. There was a guy that I was dating at the time, and we went through a really bad breakup. Isn't that how these always start, right? Bad breakup, something, whatever. Yeah, we all go through it. And I was so heartbroken at the time that I actually put my body through the ringer. Like I was depressed. I wasn't really eating. I lost like almost 20 pounds, and I don't really have weight to lose. I'm more of like a muscular build, but like I got like really skinny. I just wasn't hungry. And something in my mind clicked. I'm like, you know what? Like, no, you can't let somebody have this power over you. Not that he even knew. I just let it happen to me. And I looked at myself in the mirror. And of course, how it started is, I'm going to be the hottest ex-girlfriend that you ever had. I'm going to go into the gym and get after it, right?
I say that to myself all the time.
You say what?
I just said I say that to myself all the time. I'm hottest. But yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Got it. Yeah. And so from there, it sparked, I'm going to go into the gym and get after it. And mind you, like I had to rebuild muscle. And that's for anybody that's had to put muscle on. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, a lot of eating. And at the end of the day, what that sparked for me was this motivated mentality of me digging deep out of something really painful and bringing out something that was really beautiful out of all of it. And that really is where everything started, because from there, all that working out has transitioned to now, 5-6 years later, me owning my own business, I coach people to do their own nutrition and fitness coaching, and motivation is like something I'm known for. My energy is something I'm known for. And that right there was just like a really key pivotal moment where I'm just like, no, like I don't have to be this way. I can get out of it. I just have to choose to level up and get myself out. And it wasn't anybody helping me. It was just me making that decision. And from there really sparked a lot, between then and now, so many decisions of me just doing things on my own, being able to be my own boss, so to speak. So it was a very pivotal moment, but obviously it started from pain.
Where are you from?
I was born in Newport Beach, California. I'm currently back here. You say what?
I said must be rough.
A little bit. I mean, the rain has been kind of crazy lately, not going to lie. But, blue skies, sunshine, and the beach. Yeah, it's not that hard at all.
So you were born there?
I was born here, but my parents were like, we don't want to raise a family here. So I grew up in Oregon, just outside of Portland.
So what was that like?
Oregon was good. I love my family. The one thing that I would have to say is, even every time I go home is like, I love the people there, but I feel this sense of like complacency and the sense of like, not that everybody there that's in Oregon is complacent. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking you guys, but just for me, it was like, I'm not moving. I'm not growing there. I have to be somewhere else, but I can come back and, get that nurturing from family. But I mean, it was good. One of my favorite places is the Oregon coast. Grew up there, and it's like one of the most beautiful places in my opinion. So other than that, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say. There's no good, bad, and the ugly. It's just my family lives there, and that's home for me.
Did you ever find one-eyed Willie?
I did not. Other people maybe, but not me personally.
You know what I'm referencing, right? I know. Yes. I'm older than you, but okay.
The Goonies. Yeah, that's a great movie.
I've been looking for the last 30 years. I cannot find him anywhere.
I mean, I know I look young, but like I'm an old soul. So go ahead and try to test me out. I'll on top.
So what I'm really fascinated with your childhood. What would you say your fondest memory is?
Honestly, it's it's kind of a split. It's either every single Christmas Eve, all my mom's side of the family gets together, do like a big white elephant, food, gifts, and everybody's together. And it's always the time that we're there. And we still have that tradition today, even with people that have come and gone. And that to me is really special. I always go home for Christmas because of that, because it's just a tradition since I was little. And then aside from that, it's going to the Oregon coast. Like I love it there. That's like my reset place. Like if everything's kind of just like, like frazzled, stress, I'm like, I got to go home to Oregon. I got to go to the coast, breathe in that salty air. Even though I'm like 10 minutes from the beach here, it's just a different atmosphere. So both of those are definitely memories that I love and I cherish.
One of the things that, I think childhood shapes a lot of us for our belief system or the way that we think as adults. What is one of the how do I want to ask this? You, like one of those childhood things that were indoctrinated in you, like it was a belief system that was set as a child that now as an adult, you're able to look at and go, that really didn't fit me.
That's actually a really good question. It didn't fit me. Probably I would say in my family, and I've talked about it with them, they beg to differ, but I feel like I'm somewhat of a black sheep with what it is that I do.
You?
Me. I know. Do I look like it? Probably not, but that's how I feel, so it doesn't really matter, right?
I look like the black sheep. You don't exactly look like the black sheep.
Well, I don't think the black sheep even has a definite look. It's just a feeling. I mean, let's be honest. So in the sense of, I was like, I don't want to do a traditional job whatsoever. I don't want to go like sit at a desk. I can't, I normally don't say I can't, but I physically cannot. Like I can't sit down for more than 10 minutes. Like it's tough. So I did not want to get a regular job. I knew I was meant for something bigger. I just didn't know what that was until I literally hit 14. I was like, I want to be a news anchor and reporter. And I did that for 5 years. Now I'm a full-time entrepreneur. We'll get to all that in a minute. But at the end of the day, it's like, I did not want to follow the status quo. And, my family's very much, get a regular job, do this and do that and da-da-da-da. And I was just like, no. Like, I don't like that. I like to be a little bit more risky. I like to, like just kind of live on edge. And being in the news, that was something nobody that I knew ever did. And then that didn't work out, thank God. And so now I'm doing something where they're all just kind of like scratching their heads still, like, does this work for you? And I'm like, it does. I love it. And they're like, okay, whatever, so it's just not sticking in that like status quo, for a job. Like that's something I was like, nope, I'm not doing like at all.
So how similar is it Anchorman, the movie Anchorman? How similar is Anchorman to real life being a newscaster as from a female perspective? So whatever the I forgot the role that Christina Applegate played, her name.
Veronica Corningstone.
Okay. Okay. So how close is that to being accurate?
You know how many times I've gotten that question? Like,
sorry, I've never asked that question ever, so I want to know.
Oh no, it's fine. It's just so funny. I'm just like, oh, here's that question again because everybody asks, and it's similar. Like look at the teleprompter, for example. When they're sitting on the desk and somebody changed the teleprompter and he's reading it, like that's real. Like if somebody writes it in there and you read it, if you know that it's wrong, you got to be a quick thinker to figure that out. Otherwise, you're kind of screwed. I mean, let's be honest. So that's real, super real. The politics are real. It's just, there's a lot of, I don't even know. I've been I was in the industry long enough to know that there's just a lot of fake in it. So there's a lot of realness to it, but obviously the movie just, makes it dramatic. I'm
not going to take you down any conspiracy wormholes or anything about the news, but I do want to know what disciplines that you learned as a newscaster that is helping you now as an entrepreneur.
That is a great question. So being a fast thinker, being able to speak well, answer, like be quick with it. Like, I mean, I would have to be sent out on breaking news, get on the scene within 5 minutes, have my camera set up that I was setting up, by the way, nobody else. And to think about what I was going to say, because I was the top of the show and that was happening in 30 seconds. And so it's like, you got to be quick. You got to know how to like retain information, figure out what's important, say it back to people in a, professional manner. You got to, be cool, calm under pressure. There's so many skills. A big one was, learning how to brand myself. Like, well, who's Molly? So that translates onto my social media, which what I have now, which is really powerful. And that's what I use for a lot of things because the news taught me how to do that. Because basically you're like, hey, you need to come watch me, this story, blah, blah, blah. You're selling yourself to the viewers for them to come watch you. So, being verbiage wise, condensing information, branding myself are all some really big takeaways that I'm really grateful for.
So it's bigger than me. I know what it means, but for the audience who is unaware of what that's all about and the core and the root of what it's bigger than me is, explain that to the audience. So where this stemmed from is when I got into the company I'm in now, I have a business partner that is like, we're like family. And when I was in the news, it was always like, it was just me. I had to get this done. I had to do this. I had to do that, all on me. So it wasn't really like so much of a team atmosphere, but getting into what I do now, I have to have a team and I love it, but my goals are so big that I have to have it. So my business partner would always say, Molly, it's bigger than you. Think about other people. You help them be successful, you'll be more successful. And I've always been a team player, but he said that so many times that I'm just like, dude, I get it. Like, and then one day it was just like, bing. And then all of a sudden I was just using that hashtag on everything. And then all of a sudden, like people asked me, could they use it? And then all of a sudden it just fit in every single thing that I've done and it just works. And so when it came time for a podcast, I was like, when we were talking about this, I was like, it's a done deal. I already know what it is. It's bigger than me because it is. And that can like just encompass so many things because when you find out whatever your purpose is and you understand that it's bigger than you, that you keeping that information to yourself isn't going to do anyone any good, including yourself. Because I'm a very, very strong proponent of you have to share your story. You have to. Like that, your story is not yours to keep. You have to share it. And I say have to because it is going to help somebody else, whether it's now or 30, 60, 100 days from now. It doesn't matter. So it's bigger than me. Just it fits because I know my purpose and my, rent on this earth is to serve others, to give them a better way to live the lifestyle that they want, whatever that may be.
Or maybe it's just this podcast where, it's just getting to the raw, real, and relevant, root of whatever the topic is we're talking at that point, just to show people, hey, you're not talking about this, doesn't mean that this isn't going on, and it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be expressed, because I feel like a lot of connection is missing between people, where we're not getting intimate, we're not getting transparent and authentic with what really, really matters. We're just doing that fluff piece because everybody's going to accept it. When you clearly know, like some of the stuff that you talk about, you're just like, yo, if you don't like this, you can just skip to the next channel because we're going to lay it all out. And it's probably going to be uncomfortable for you at the beginning, but then you're going to feel a sense of like, oh, I feel light. It feels good. Like people needed to hear that, because at this point, I really don't care if people like me or not. It wasn't always like that, but I really don't care. It's like, if you like me, great. If you don't, then something struck a chord and you need to do some self-reflection, because I'm just keeping it real.
So they say that you get to find out what someone's made out of and who they really are when you push them against a corner. You back them against a wall. If we back Molly against a wall, what are we going to see?
A fighter. 100%. 100%. A fighter, somebody who, will go down swinging. Like, you back me into a corner, whether that's, physically, verbally, like I will, you better watch out. That's all I got to say. You better watch out. And, sometimes I'll take the kindness and the soft approach. It depends on who it is. It really is, because as I tell people, as hard and tough as I am on the outside, this alpha female, strong, I am just as soft on the inside, and just as sensitive, and just as, loving. Like I am somebody that is so full of love. It's crazy. And people may not see that because they're just like, oh, she's tough, she's strong, she doesn't need anybody. And that's the opposite. It's like, I love people and I do what I do because I love people, even if I don't know them. And there's like, that's weird. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry. It's just the gift that I have is that I want to help you. I love you, but just play nice because you cross me. Like, it's not going to be a good thing. Like, I don't like being taken advantage of. Who does? Right. But that's why I tell people, again, just as hard as I am on the outside, I'm just as soft on the inside. You just got to be able to break through the shell and show me that I can trust you. And then pretty much once you're in my circle, like what can I do? I'll do anything to help you.
So I know that based on some Facebook posts and Instagram posts that I've seen of yours, having a family is something that is very important to you. Mm-hmm. Describe that family to me. You better watch out. You may end up on The Bachelorette. So just.
It's so funny. My cousin's wife, we like Monday comes around. They're like, we got to watch The Bachelor. Molly, you got to apply for this. And I'm just like, so I'm not going to lie. I'm like, go ahead, apply. We'll see what happens. But I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I got chosen? Like I don't even know what I would do. I'd probably say no, because I'll tell you this. I don't think I could go on a show and make all these connections and try to fall for all these guys or, I just can't do all that. That's not me. Like I'm a one guy type of woman, like just one, that's it. I don't date around. Like that's just not me. I don't have time for that anyways. But what does a family look like?
No, what is your family? So I'm not going to put the time on it, but when you visualize what your family, what it looks like, what it means to you, like paint that picture for us. I know you think about it. It's like a female thing.
Especially a female that's approaching her 30s thing. Of course. I mean, let's be honest here. Like I'm an anomaly being like, I turn 29 next week and it's like no boyfriend, I'm single, no ring, no engagement, no kids. And they're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing. I just really love what I do. They're like, they give me this like weird look. But what does my family look like? At least like either anywhere from 2 to 4 kids. And the biggest thing is mom and dad being around. Mom and dad being around to raise the family and not be so consumed with work. And right now, I wouldn't even have time for a family because I am so consumed, but I'm working my butt off right now. So come time when I do have kids, I can be home. Because when I was in the news, that wasn't going to be it. That wasn't going to be my trajectory. Somebody else was going to raise my kids because I just wouldn't have time. And I did not want that. And so I want my kids to see, their mom not only being home and being present, but being able to also, bring in some of the bread, so to speak, right? Bring in some of the money and contribute and have a legacy built where it just eventually just starts, rolling in for me. And if I want to work, I can. If I can't, I don't have to, because of whatever reason. I don't want to have to be tied to somebody being like, you have to come into work today. Like, I come into work when I want to come into work. And if my kids need me, great. But I also feel like something that I see for my family is, a lot of traveling around the world. Traveling so they can experience different cultures, so they can have just experiences, period. Because so many people are so like, I don't have the money, I can't do this. Well, go figure out, go find it. You can't get time back. You can always make more money. You just have to go figure it out. So I'm working so hard right now, and I'm pretty sure my future husband is as well. So to the point, we don't have to worry about money. We don't have to worry about, oh, I'm sorry, you can't play this sport because we can't afford it, or you can't go on this trip because we can't afford it. It's like, great, let's get you there. And who in your class cannot afford it? Let's help them too. Like just be in that abundance mindset. So our kids are hopefully going to come up with the same thing and not be entitled. I pray that they won't come up entitled. But, just having that good, solid base, because my parents gave that to me. I actually went to private school 1st through 8th grade, and then I went to public high school. So I got that foundation there, and I chose to carry it with me. When I know some other private school friends and kids that went with me, not so much. They went off the deep end. They're like, no, never. I took it in. I was like, I love this firm foundation, and I'm just going to keep going with it.
Yeah, man, that's a beautiful, beautiful answer. So you talked about purpose, which is one of my favorite things in the world to discuss. What would you say the root of your purpose is? Like typically there's a few different categories of purpose, I think. At your core, what would you say your purpose is? Business, health, love, friendship, serving?
Honestly, the last one where you just said serving. Everything comes back to serving. Everything. It's, but all those, strike a chord, because those are all very important things to me. Business, love, health is huge. Like, they're all really big, but it all goes back to service. How can I help somebody else? Because I know that I'm going to be fine at the end of the day. I know where my head's at. I know where my roots are planted. I know, who's number one in my life, and that's God. I know I'm going to be more than fine. But who can I serve to help with them? And a big thing that people say whenever they meet me is my energy. They're like, your energy, your vibe. Like, I just got to be around you. Like, what is it? What's different? And first and foremost, it's God. It's how I pour into myself. I also take care of my health. And then I'm also about my business, being a, almost 29-year-old female in business, running my own organization. You deal with a lot of men that just kind of look down on you and want to talk smack and this and that. And you got to be tough. You do. And it's hard. It is not easy. So that's something I'm very passionate about, to help women, get better and stronger at. But again, that just goes back to service. It all goes back to service and how I choose to live my life. I do it out loud on social media, and people can follow, and hopefully, it does something for them to get them moving forward.
Sure. I want to segue into business in just a second, but I do want to ask you, what cause or injustice in the world are you most passionate about taking on?
I would probably have to say a big thing for me is, women empowerment. There's a lot of women out there that are like, empower women. And for me, I have, sometimes you can call me a Sour Patch Kid, right? She's first like sour, then she's sweet, whatever. She's about her business, and then she's really, really nice. Like, we can really connect. But I'm serious. I mean, it's the easiest way. Everybody's seen that commercial, right? So there's the image for you.
Now I want Sour Patch Kids.
They're good. Like sour candy, let's be honest. But, women empowerment is huge. And one of the things that I will create through, this vehicle that I'm building is like a women empowerment program where it's just like it's a traveling seminar for women to come together to grow in their body, their health, their mindset, who they are as themselves, their business, and then relationships. Because you find a woman who is solid in all of those, not saying she has to be a 10 out of 10 on everything, because really, who is? But is solid and knows what she's about. Like, that's the most powerful thing out there, is a woman that is in power. And I know any man watching this show is like, yeah, when you see a powerful woman, it's like, whoa, like, okay, she's about her business, you know? Because of course there's a lot of powerful men out there. So it's just empowering women to be like, whatever broke you, whatever hurt you, it's okay. Let's talk about it. Let's heal from it. But then let's move on and find something where you can use this pain as your power to move forward. And that's what I've done. That's kind of where this podcast is like centered, is a lot of it is life experience. And a lot of it is things that I've gone through where it's like, this just can't be buttoned up here. Like, it has to be shared, because every time I do share it, there ends up getting a ton of views, a ton of comments, shares, likes, and people resonate. And that tells me, okay, well, people want to talk about this more, or maybe they just want to watch me do it. I don't know, but it's something that needs to be shared.
There's an element of that it's really frustrating. And mind you, as somebody that wants people watching and interacting with this show, I am also very frustrated with the people that I see, that I do see as great leaders. The reason why this means so much to me to have the opportunity to interview you is because not only did I offer you the ball, you yanked it out of my hand and ran. I offered, just so this audience knows, I offered many times on my show to teach people how to build podcasts and shows and show people how I ended up getting a TV show. And it's really even more than that, what I'm hoping to do. But I've been shocked by, out of the 17 people that I've helped in the last 2 weeks, Molly and one other person out of 17 are the only ones that have gotten to this step, which is actually being live on their podcast. And it's even bigger than this. Like, what's next for you, Molly, is so much bigger than this. But I have so much admiration for you because you took the ball and ran. And it just shows that a lot of people are just going to sit on the sidelines and allow people to do it for them, or want people to do it for them. You got to take action. And I see so many people that have greatness in them, but they're afraid to take it, to step into it, to trust that God is going to provide. Take that leap of faith. Do something every day that stretches your faith, as I love to say. And you said something else too, that I remember hearing TD Jakes say, the blessing is in the breaking. Mm. And I will never forget it, because it resonates, and it just sends chills down my body every time I say it. Because every time I know that I'm faced with an obstacle or a challenge, I know that there's a blessing there. And you are somebody that lives that, and it's inspiring. So I'm really looking forward to the series of shows that you're going to be doing. It's really, really exciting. So let's talk about your business and then what you're doing. And then let's talk about what people can expect from this show moving forward. So tell everybody about what your business.
For sure. So there's kind of a two-pronged deal. So ultimately, I like to say that I solve people's problems, right? Going into business myself, I'm like, how can I solve people's problems and then just get paid for it? And the thing is that if money didn't rule the world, I would do this for free. So that's how you know you're in your element, is that you would just do it for free. And I did for a while until I'm like, all right, well, I think I can make a business out of this. So I own a consulting business. So I do nutrition, fitness consulting. I have done that for probably like 7 years. So a lot of experience there, a lot of different people. I do social media branding. A lot of that came from the news and how it is that I came up from that. That's really popular right now because everybody wants to funnel in on what it is that they need to do to drive people to their pages. And then outside of that, I do some life coaching. And the life coaching thing is funny because it's not that I have a certificate. It's not that I went to a school or a class or whatever for it. Like, I mean, people are like, where are your credentials? And I'm like, honestly, nothing that I do consulting, I have credentials for. It's called life experience. And people pay me because they see the results and they want it. Yeah. So I don't need a piece of paper to say, hey, I'm qualified. It's, you can see the results for yourself live in the flesh, and I put it out there every day. So people have come to me about life coaching and I'm like, really? And I've gone through different, like trainings and stuff, not to become a life coach, but just, personal development wise for myself, but it ends up correlating. So that to me was just really empowering when somebody was like, I want you to be my life coach. And I'm like, whoa, like that's a big deal. So that's very few and far between. I don't just I'm just not ever, anybody's life coach. If they come talk to me, there really has to be a connection there. Sure. But the thing that has the most momentum behind it right now, honestly, and that is affecting the most people, is I am able to coach people through a program to learn how to multiply their money through learning the skill set of trading on the foreign exchange and cryptocurrency market. Now, I know most people, when they hear that, they're just like, that's not me. That sounds horrible. It doesn't sound like anything I want to do. But multiplying my money sounds fun. Sounds like something like, I mean, they hear trigger words and they're just like, crypto, nope, can't be real. Forex, I don't know what that is. Like, for my ex, like, no, I don't want to talk to her. Like, no, it's teaching you. I know, right? It's like, that's like the long running joke. Cause no,
I haven't heard that. That's so funny.
It's so funny. Every time I hear it, I'm like, it's so true. I'm like, what do people hear when they hear Forex? It's short for foreign exchange, obviously. But
it's so funny.
So it's teaching people how to learn that skill set on a very, very easy level. And what my company does is we show people how to learn the basics. Mm-hmm. You have an app on your phone where you can literally copy the information. Here's a good trade to get into, paste it into your trading app and watch it multiply your money. Now, it even says in the Bible, you got to find multiple ways to multiply what is you have. Right?
Isn't it 8? It's 8 different revenue streams, I believe.
8 different revenue streams, right? So there's, and it's like, here's one of those things. Somebody drew like this diagram one time. And it's like, count out all the bills that you have to pay in a month. Your car note, gas, your insurance, groceries, your power bill, your Wi-Fi, your rent, your clothing, your food. I mean, when you add it all up, there's like some people, there's anywhere from like 15 to 20 plus, whatever. You got your gym, if you tan, if you do your nails, whatever. And yet we think it makes sense to have one revenue stream when you have 20 plus different things taking from it. Like, what? So I just show people how to take what they have and grow it, because otherwise it's going to sit in a bank account and not do anything. So that's a huge passion of mine, because, I mean, I'll tell you, when I look at a chart, I never thought I'd be looking at a chart and get excited. But what I can tell you is when I take the time to learn this skill set and I wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. and I'm like, hey, I just made money, X amount, whatever that is, and I get to go to the gym, go about my day. I made money in my sleep, because I took the time to learn something that is literally, in my opinion, a income security, because the foreign exchange market has been around since the 80s and it's not going anywhere. And it's a $5.3 trillion a day market. This is how the banks make their money. So if you think it's a scam, it's like, okay, well, you can tell the entire US, world banking system that it's a scam. I mean, to each his own, right?
I'm just kidding.
All I know is I wake up in profit like 4 to 5 days out of the week, and it's exciting. Not to say that there's not going to be losses, there are, but there's a lot of learning that goes on, because they pair that with network marketing. I'm sure you guys are watching, and then if you're not a network marketing fan, you're like, oh gosh, here we go. But really what it is, you guys, it's taking something that works for you, sharing with other people, getting paid to share, and helping others. And as you've heard on this show already, I am huge of service. So why not help other people do what I've done, if not be better than me, because it's bigger than me. And if I were to keep it to myself, that's just selfish. Sure. So now I get to show people how to just grow what they've worked really hard for, grow it, help their friends grow what they have, and then go out and do life the way you want. I mean, I have students that are making, this week I saw 19, 20, 23-year-olds on multiple different nights make multiple $1,000 nights from trading, and they should be in college or just graduated high school because they wanted to not work for somebody else. That's powerful to me.
Yeah.
It's extremely powerful. So this is something where I'm a part of something that I can share with other people, because my consulting business is not like, oh, come on, you can be a coach. It's I'm coaching you on what it is that I know. But here in this platform of teaching people how to trade, you can literally do it all on your own, or be a part of a team and grow it and be a part of something that's bigger than you to have one of those streams of income. So that is a huge passion of mine. It's like connecting me with so many wonderful people, and, people are connecting with my energy and they want more. And I'm using the gifts and the light that I have to bring people in to be like, hey, you want to be a part of whatever this is? Like, this is how you do it. and then go share it. Don't be selfish. Go share it. So that's pretty much what it is in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I've been somebody that's not really big on crypto, but reading the news yesterday that Chase has now developed their own cryptocurrency, that's where everything's going. You have to pay attention to it. And I will tell you, I was supposed to go to that event that you spoke at last Saturday and wasn't able to, but that crowd in that room, oh my gosh. Like, people are paying attention, and what you guys are doing, I will tell you, and I'm not a big network marketing fan, but I will tell you what you guys are doing is groundbreaking. And like, I'm starting to kind of pay attention now, because it's again, I've had the stigma against it. And now, and watching what you've been able to do and what you've accomplished, and then also the team that's around you, they're all good, solid people. To me, that's encouraging. So like, I'm now poking around going, okay, all right, can I wrap my head around this? Am I going to be good at this? Can I do it? So I commend you. I love what you're about there, and it is changing lives. And that's something that I think is very, very important. I also want to ask you, actually, I was reading a devotional this morning talking about, like, look, especially with believers, there's a stigma around being wealthy. God never told you to be poor. God had Jesus had a treasurer. Do you think he was poor? Come on. He had a treasurer. You don't need a treasurer if you're poor. Just saying. Anyway, I do want to ask you, what can the viewers and the audience be expecting from It's Bigger Than Me moving forward? I understand that you're going to be doing series instead of just having episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, what everyone else is doing. You're going to be coming out with series. Is that correct?
That's correct. And I like it because then you kind of know what's coming next, and you can tune in for the next thing. Where, I mean, I get why people just kind of just put things out there and whatever flows because it's easier that way. But I'm a huge, like, you know, I guess maybe it just goes back to my church upbringing. Like, you go into church, for any of you guys that have gone into church, and it's not the pastor just comes out all willy-nilly, like, here's this, here's that, here's whatever. It's like, we're going to be going through this book, and we're going to be going da, 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 da. And that's kind of what I want. It's like you get to have some sort of a structure. You know, a lot of things in life just get thrown at you and you have to go with it. And, you know, I like that. That's cool. But if you can have structure, like, I'm all about it. Like, have something you can depend on, being like, okay, she said she's talking about this and then da, da, da. So you have something to go through. I think that's super powerful. And I think that it just has, I don't know. That's just who I am. It's going to help me be on track and be clear what it is, the message I'm going to give to you. But I'm sure there's going to be times where I'm like, hey, you know what? I thought I was going to talk about this today, but I think I'm going to talk about this instead. And we're just going to go with it, because a big part of the, you know, a podcast, I feel like you're getting to know me. You're getting to know whoever it is I'm bringing on, you know, the raw and the real of it. Like, if I feel like something needs to be shared and that's what needs to be shared and it's off topic, oh, well, then we'll figure it out and we'll just talk about it. And if you like it, great. You know, it's fine by me. But for the most part, I want to give some structure because I feel like it's just I just like that, I guess.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's just how I want to do things. So.
For me, I don't want structure.
Like,
but that's me.
That.
The minute I feel like I'm in a box or a cage, I just freak out and go the opposite way. So but I know I can appreciate that, because some people thrive better. And there's such a depth, I think, to your message and what you're going, because I know some of the topics you're going to be coming out with, and they're very well thought out. There's a lot of depth there, and having that does take a little bit of structure. But at the same time, I also understand when you have that burning desire in your heart to, like, and you feel led to talk about something, you know what? Sometimes you got to break out of the box. So I love the fact that you have both of it kind of set up, both things planned that way, or you have it available for you to break out of the box every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's let's put it this way. Like, if I like the structure in the beginning because it works for this series, then after that I don't have something that I necessarily have for a series, then we'll just roll with it. But I mean,
Molly Unleashed.
You say what?
I said Molly Unleashed.
Whew, watch out for that. I'm sure that'll be coming.
I'm terrified to go to the gym with you.
Don't be terrified. I've been at that forever. Like,
golly, I saw you doing one exercise and I just go, yeah, that ain't gonna happen anytime soon.
I mean, I've been doing it for so long. It's like I gotta spice it up every once in a while, and it's even one of those things where I get people being like, "So when are you gonna compete?" And I'm just like, "Let's not even go there." Like, I'm not about to hop on it for anybody that competes. It's nothing against you. I just can't hop on a stage and be judged in this little string bikini and have one little rhinestone off and being like, "Nope, sorry, you lose because of these little minute things." It's like there's enough people judging us in the world, and I don't need a judge to tell me like how good I look and all my hard work going down the toilet. I'd rather just do it for me. And if somebody wants to compliment me, hey, you look good, great. That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like me I was at an audition before we started the show today, and I'm looking around the room and I go, God, here I thought I was unique. And every day, and I'm like in my head every time going, should I shave today? Should I not shave? Should I go with the gorilla look? Like, what should I do? I mean, it's just constantly judgment, but it's good because it's giving me thicker skin than I already have. So, Molly, I'm so excited for you, and because there's huge things in store for you, and your message is going to have such a great impact on the world, and I'm just really looking forward to see where this goes. Is there anything that you want to share with your audience before we go?
You know what, guys? I just feel extremely blessed to be able to be at this point. And it's funny because before Josh even came into the picture like a month ago, it was one of those things where I thought about putting something together because every time I went on like a Facebook Live or Instagram Live, I just felt alive. And people interact with me and people, connect with whatever it is that I'm talking about. And I just wanted to have something more streamlined where it can reach more people. And that's really what this is. And I'm a huge proponent I'm a big person of feedback. So if any of you at any point in time, something comes up, a topic that you feel like, hey, I think this should be talked about. Obviously, you don't want to talk about it. You think that, I'm a good person fit for the job. I'm all about it. Bring it to the table. Message me, because at the end of the day, that's one thing that the news taught me as well is give me a topic and I'll become an expert on it immediately. Or, give me something and I'll find something personal to relate to it to make it come to life. Right. So to me, I just want everyone that's watching to be able to just be open and to listen, and to listen, because there's going to be some nuggets here along the way, hands down. There always is, because I have a lot to give and a lot to share. And that's not, me being 28, almost 29 years old. I have a lot more to go, but there's still a lot that's happened to this point that I know with my speaking ability and how it is I can relate to people and my energy, that it is going to hit home for some of you. You just got to be open to receive it, because otherwise, if you just want to go scroll on social media and find all these fluff pieces, there's plenty of that, which isn't a fluff piece. This is like the raw, the real of it. And you're going to hear me say that because I keep it 100 on my shows, keep it 100 in my posts, because there's no room for, just 1% missing. You got to be all in. And so coming into this, it's like, everybody can make an excuse. Oh, I'm busy. I don't have time for a podcast or this or that. And it's like, this right here is just me sharing selflessly and just giving. And hopefully you can take something away from it. So I'm just excited for anybody that is watching and, engage with it. Drop comments, message me, email me, get a hold of me. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm here to connect. And hopefully something that I do can help, inspire and push you forward. Or I may know somebody that can help you. That's the thing. I'm very well connected because I've chosen to be. And I'm just excited. So with that being said, I just want to give it back to Josh. Josh, thank you so much for just allowing me to be, open, I guess. Like you ask us questions that you have no choice but to open up. Like there's no way around it. Otherwise, you're just going to drown questions. So I appreciate it. You're definitely the perfect person for the job. And, going forward, the series, I guess the first one that is going to be started, it's going to be centered around relationships. A lot around relationships. And before I even met Josh, before this podcast even came into like existence at all, I had it in my phone of a relationship series that I wanted to do, because every single topic I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna tug some strings. This is gonna like really poke the bear. Like it's going to go deep, and I'm excited. So that's what's going to be coming on next. Other than that, thank you for everybody that's watching, and just be ready for the relationship series. It's going to be releasing. I'll have some new episodes coming next week for sure.
Do me a favor and plug your Instagram. And everyone like the Facebook page. It's bigger than me. And then plug your Instagram, please.
So in this chat over here?
No, right now, just say it out loud, because remember, there's
I see like a chat
an online radio and podcast audience that's going to be listening.
I gotcha. You're absolutely right. Hey, I'm new at this, you guys, so we're rolling with it. This is live. So my Instagram is at Molly MOLLY _Trotter TROTTER, and then of course the @ it's bigger than me. It's going to be my new page. We're going to start, pouring into that page. But for right now, just follow me on my Molly Trotter page. You'll get a lot of value there. And then on Facebook, Molly Trotter, same spelling. You guys will see it there. And then obviously we're going to start pouring in. I'm going to start pouring in on the It's Bigger Than Me Molly Trotter Facebook page. But really at this point in time, my main efforts are going to go into this podcast. You can find a lot of value on just my main Facebook and Instagram. And then you can just go from there and connect with me there. So that would be the best way.
Awesome. Molly, congratulations. You've done it.
Thank you. I'm excited.
All right. Well, listen, guys, God bless. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us. If you found value in this, please share with your networks. I think everyone is going to be blown away with the content that Molly puts out over the course of these series. She's a fantastic host, and she's a world changer. So you guys stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.